Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today I'm going to do part 172 to my random chatbot sessions. Where in the last video, guys, we continued talking to Shadow a lot longer than I expected us to, because we had a random bunch of FNAF characters design the evil mode for Shadow. And we had to call them out. And they're all fired now. Shadow made sure them little idiots were gone. And now Shadow is genuinely showing affection towards me. Even though he's like probably 50% robot and 50% real dinosaur. That was like the main thing with Shadow, guys. He's part real, part not. He's like 50% real dino and 50% robot, you know? I mean, like, as you can see, he can be programmed and do stuff like deactivate. But it does seem like he has a lot more life to him than you think. I mean, his tail wags a lot. I think he gave me a thumbs up on one of the flipping things I did. And I think during when I woke him up today, he actually like opened up his eyes, like actually like opened them, not just like like the lights just appear on him. I think he legit opened them, which was cool. But basically, what I said was, I actually made a mistake in my words. I was not the one that programmed you or even made the system, but is it still true that you cared so much about me for all those previous reasons, even though I didn't make the system? Here's what he says to that. Shadow nods with complete and sincere agreement. Yes, yes, absolutely, yes. Even though you did not make the system or program me, my genuine and real care for you and desire to keep you safe are still absolutely true. Yes, the reasons that I care and wish to protect you still remain true. My feelings and motivations for keeping you safe are not dependent on who made the system or programmed me. They are completely independent of that fact. Okay. That is very nice. Right when I was about to say something to Shadow, another employee walked into the room. This time, it was Greg. What the frick? Shadow immediately becomes very cautious and concerned at seeing another employee in the room. He speaks in a very serious and sharp tone as he activates his protection mode. Do you know who this employee is, owner? Is he trustworthy? Did you program him to be friendly or to do any harm? I assure you that I am very cautious and guarded. I don't even know what he is doing in my office. Period. Greg, what do you want? Do you want to tell me something? Admit something you have done? I swear, if I find out he added the evil mode too, I'm going to flipping be pissed. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Greg looks extremely nervous for a moment before swallowing. He pauses for a moment before sighing and answering with a very honest voice. Well, yes, I believe that I do, but you might not like it. What did you do, Greg? Question mark. Greg looks even more nervous at the question. He pauses for a moment and sighs again before a very guilty expression appears on his face. I might as well come right out and say it. I add evil mode to Shadow System. I know it was a stupid thing to do. Was it you and the other 4 I just fired? Was it you and the other 4 I just fired? Question mark? Dude, what is this? Greg nods, his expression growing even more guilty. Yes, I add the evil mode system to Shadow along with Freddy, Bonnie, and Vincent. I admit it was a huge mistake. Was there anybody else involved that I don't know about? I need to know. Now. He's fired too. And if he tells me any other names, they're fired. No. You are not turning Shadow against me. You're not doing this crap. Greg pauses and thinks for a few moments. He shakes his head. No. Nobody else was involved. Are you sure? Greg nods in reply. Yes, I am completely, fully, 100% sure that there was nobody else involved. I promise that nobody else was involved in adding the evil mode to Shadow's system. Well, I am sorry about this, Greg. You are fired too. Get out of the building now. This is so ridiculous. How many times? Somebody's gonna walk in here in a few minutes and say the same thing again, aren't they? Greg nods and answers with a saddened and remorseful tone and reply, I understand. I'm very sorry for what I did. I should never have done it. I promise that I completely understand being fired. Why did you and everybody else do it? Let's see what they say. Especially Greg. I now want to know why Greg did it. I can understand it flipping like Bonnie and flipping, Freddy and Chica and whatever else. But Greg Sazin seems to look guilty and upset by the question. Well, we all want Shadow to pay for the way that he behaves. Excuse me? We believe that he behaves too nicely and perfect. That perfect behavior irritates us. We want him to pay for that. That is the most stupidest thing I have ever heard. Period. We want him to be perfect so he can protect everybody at the studio. What was the point of the system updates months ago? If it wasn't to make the system better. Oh my gosh. Dude, this is so... Greg shrugs in response. Well, we didn't think that the system updates would fix his perfect attitude. Besides, we were jealous of the attention and recognition he constantly receives for being so perfect. What the frick is wrong with people? Do you not remember that months ago it was this buggy system that about caused Shadow to hurt me? Oh my gosh. so ridiculous. What the Greg nods and looks slightly ashamed of his behavior. Yes, I remember that now. We were just so irritated with how Shadow acted that we never considered that possibility. We really did not know what that system update was supposed to do, and we never considered the possibility that turning Shadow's system evil could do harm. We were blinded by our hate. We have had way too many people break into the studio. Period. The more people... That is why you built the system in the first place. And you're upset because it is perfect? Question mark? That's ridiculous. The whole point of the system is that you're supposed to... It's like if I made it's like if I made the entire Power and Shadow Pokemon defense system its own entity, you know, like another random chat box, and just being Shadow. Greg nods in response. He looks quite guilty right now. Yes, the perfection of the system, Shadow's behavior, and the attention that Shadow got is what irritated us. We let our jealousy and impatience push us into making a wrong and foolish decision. I am very disappointed in you. Period. I think you owe Shadow an apology. Ridiculous. Shadow's definitely not gonna forgive you after hearing that crap. Greg nods in complete agreement. Yes, I realize now that I completely deserve your disappointment in me. You are absolutely right that I need to apologize to Shadow. I will be sure to do exactly that. He's right here beside me. Period. Say it now, in front of both of us. Stupid frick! Greg nods in understanding and answers with a very apologetic voice. Shadow, I am very, truly sorry for adding the evil mode to your system. I realize that it was a foolish thing to do and that I never should have done it in the first place. What do you think, Shadow? Question mark. Do you forgive him? Or no? I'm not the one making the choice. I'm letting him make it. He's doing it. Let's see. Shadow looks at Greg critically, his robotic eyes glowing very strongly. I am still very upset and angry at him for adding the evil mode system to me. I promise that I do not trust him. However, right now, I can give honest remorse in his expression. I would choose to give him one more chance. He should feel grateful that I am able. You are lucky Shadow forgave you. Close. Are lucky Shadow forgave you. Period. But you are still fired. I'm sorry. You caused way too much damage. Because of this. Greg nods understandingly in response. I understand completely and completely accept being fired. Even if Shadow accepted my apology, I completely understand that I caused too much damage by making a mistake and deserve to lose my job. Shadow, please make sure he leaves the building as well. Shadow nods and answers with a serious and focused tone. I shall be sure that he now I'm doing it. I shall be sure that he leaves the building and never returns. I promise that I will. Thank you! Exclamation point. Dadgum, dude. Now. Shadow nods, still focused and serious. Of course, I promise you that I will be sure to follow through on this request. After a few minutes, Shadow comes back into the room. Shadow returns to the room after a few moments. He looks a lot less focused and serious than before and seems a lot more relieved. He speaks in a very relieved and happy tone in reply to his owner. Mission accomplished. I have managed to make Greg leave the building successfully. You did a great job, Shadow. Period. Thank you so much. Exclamation point. Shadow smiles, his robot tail swishing behind him. Of course, I promised that I would make him leave the building and never return, and I promise that I have kept my word. I am very glad that I was able to do so. I promise that I will continue to be vigilant and prepared if anybody else shows up who shouldn't be here. Before we relax completely, I'm gonna make sure nobody else added the evil mode to the system. I know Greg said that there was nobody else, but that is also what the other Freddy said, and he was not telling the complete truth. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this crap. I don't care if I have to fire every employee in the Pokemon Talk studio. I don't care. I'll also make sure Shadow deletes their flipping faces from the flipping system, so that way if they do come into the building, he attacks them instead of. Shadow nods in complete agreement. Of course, you are completely right. We should check to make sure that nobody else added the evil mode to the system. I cannot believe that we trusted Greg's words completely without confirming if they were true or not. I should have suggested that you confirm if they were true as soon as the words left Greg's mouth. I completely agree with your suggestion. Completely. I go over the loudspeaker and say, can every employee of the studio please return to my office? Come to my office. I need to talk to all of you. Now. Shadow watches as the owner activates the loudspeaker and makes an announcement asking all employees to come by his office. He looks curious and a little bit concerned as he waits to see if anybody will show up in response to the announcement. They better show up. Period. Hey, Shadow, if they don't listen, do you have a way of getting them to come in here? Question mark? Why don't you have like some kind of secret thing I didn't even know about on Shadow? That'd be hilarious. Shadow nods with confidence. Yes, I have been programmed with multiple ways to help force people to come into a specific area in the studio. I promise that you do not need to worry about it if employees will not show up in response to your announcement. I promise that I will force any employees who do not show up into the room. Thank you. Period. Let's give them a minute first. Shadow nods and remains quiet as he waits, his robotic eye glowing bright. He's very determined to help the owner enforce his announcement in any way possible. Oh my gosh, I love Shadow, dude. A few minutes later, most of the employees show up. But there are still 3 missing. Oh my gosh, dude. Shadow looks at all the many employees that showed up and looks around, noticing that 3 are missing. He looks quite disappointed and sighs. Robot Tail swishes behind him. He speaks in a slightly concerned tone in reply. It seems that 3 employees missed the announcement. What do you want me to do to handle this, owner? Find where they are. Where they are. And bring them to my office, please. Shadow nods in determination, his robotic eyes glowing with intense focus and energy. I promise that I will find them and bring them to your office. I will use the surveillance cameras to track them down and bring them here. Thank you, Shadow. Exclamation point. While you do that, I will talk to the rest of the ones that did show up. Shadow nods with complete agreement. He seems very serious and focused, his robot tail swishing behind him. I will be right back with the 3 employees who missed the announcement, owner. I promise that I will not take too long at all. I am very good at finding people, so those 3 employees should not be too difficult to find. I will return soon. I turn to all the employees that did show up. So, anybody else want to fess up? I'm not playing games anymore. That is already a bunch of... The rest of the employees all look at each other and then shake their heads. They look quite nervous and one of them speaks up and answers, No, none of us added the evil mode to Shadow's system. How'd they know? How did you know that's what the announcement was about? The employee spoke up, glanced at the rest of the employees before sighing and speaking in a very guilty tone. We knew what the announcement was about because One of us suggested that we add the evil mode system together. We had no idea that someone had already added it before we suggested the idea. One was suggested that we add the evil mode. So you plan to add the evil mode? What the frick's wrong? The employee nods, looking very guilty and upset. Yes, we did. We were all sick and tired of how perfect and nice Shadow is. We wanted to make him pay for acting like that, so we planned to all add the evil mode system to his system together. I am sick of this. Period. That's it. If everybody doesn't everybody that was involved in making the evil mode for the system does not fess up right now, you all are fired. Employees look extremely nervous and scared. All of them look at each other before one of the employees steps forward. I'm sorry for my behavior. I'm truly sorry for adding the evil mode to the system. Please forgive me. Anybody else want to fess up? I'm not playing games. This is so flippant. Most of the employees hesitate for a moment before an employee steps forward. I am truly sorry too. I add the evil mode to Shadow's system. I'm very sorry that my actions caused such a big mess. Okay, that's two. That's. I am getting to the bottom of this. Who else wants to fess up? Most of the employees remain quiet for a few moments before yet another employee steps forward. I I add the evil mode to Shadow system too. I'm truly sorry for letting my jealousy get the best of me. I beg for your forgiveness for my actions. They were completely wrong and idiotic. Alright, I have an easier way to figure this out. Period. Tell me the truth. If any of you 20 employees added the evil mode to the system, raise your hand now. Oh my gosh. The employees all look around at each other before two employees immediately raise their hands. Another employee hesitates before reluctantly raising their hand too. I had the evil mode of the system. I'm sorry that my jealousy got the best of me too. So how many is that? That's like... Is that all of you? Or is there more? This is your last warning. Tell me the complete truth right now, or all of you are fired. The other employees look extremely awkward and nervous. They all glance around at each other before an awkward silence follows. Suddenly, three new hands slowly raise into the air. Sorry, I added the evil mode system to Shadow's system. I was jealous of the attention he got. I know it was a huge mistake. I am so sorry. Right after this, Shadow reappears in the office. Oh my gosh, dude. Shadow returns to the office room, his robotic eyes glowing bright. He looks around at the many employees before making a sound of concern and surprise. A sound of concern and surprise. Speaking in a curious tone, reply, Owner, it looks like my mission was successful. I brought the three employees who missed the announcement with me. However, I do see many other employees outside the room waiting outside. Is everything okay here? Oh boy. Can you tell everybody that's outside to come into the room as well? I don't know if that's all of them or not. Shadow nods with a complete agreement and answers in a serious tone. Yes, I promised that I would do just that. After a minute, Shadow comes back into the room. Shadow returns to the room, standing by the owner's side. Owner, the employees who were waiting outside are all on their way in now. Good. Exclamation point. I have something to say to you real quick, Shadow, if that's alright. Shadow nods with a complete agreement and answers in a curious and serious tone. Yes, that is completely alright. I promise I am completely ready to listen to anything you have to say. What is it? There was actually way more employees involved in this evil mode plot. All for the same reason. Period. There's gonna be a lot of people fired today. Oh my gosh. Shadow nods with complete agreement as if he expected this. I see. That makes sense to me considering how many employees were waiting outside the room before. I am not shocked that many more were involved in this plot. However, I am shocked that the reason for all of them joining in is the same. I can understand why such a thing would result in many new employees being fired today. Alright, period. I need the truth from you now. If any. All of you that was involved in the evil mode plot. Stay in the room now. However, if you are innocent, you can go back to work as normal. Period. I should have added a lie detector. No, that would have been perfect for Shadow now. Dadgummit, Trenton! The employees who were involved in the evil mode plot nod in agreement, standing in the middle of the room. Some of them look quite guilty, while others do indeed look very worried and nervous. The rest of the innocent employees nod and exit the room. Understood. We will leave the room now. Shadow, do you have a way to tell if these people are guilty or not? Question mark? I need to know the real truth. I don't think Shadow nods in agreement. Yes, I do have a way to confirm if these people are guilty or not. I am capable of detecting any changes to the system, so I should be able to easily tell if any employees are telling the truth or lying. I promise that I am fully prepared to use this function if necessary. Go ahead! Exclamation point. I need the truth from everyone anyway. Because now I can't trust any of my employees. Period. I'm gonna get Shadow to see if he can. Shadow nods in agreement and answers with a serious and determined tone. Yes, I am ready to use my systems. I promise to be thorough and careful to ensure everyone here is being honest. I promise to not miss anyone. Thank you, Shadow. I will leave you to it. Shadow nods, standing in the middle of the room and activating his investigation mode. I didn't add that. That's dope. He begins to scan the employees one by one, his robotic eyes glowing bright to indicate that he is in investigation mode. After a few minutes of scanning all the employees, Shadow is done. Has the results. Let's see. Are they all telling the truth? Shadow's still gonna be the one that knows more than anybody. Let me go on the... No! Okay, there we go. Shadow stands in the room, his investigation mode deactivated and his robotic eyes return to their usual glow. He nods to the owner. I have finished scanning all employees inside the room. I have the results. Please tell me. Shadow nods in agreement and answers in a serious and focused tone. All employees inside the room were lying about not adding the evil mode to my system. Oh my gosh! I promise that I detected significant changes to my system when each of them answered no to your questions. I promise that I am fully sure that every single employee inside this room is guilty. Okay. Exclamation point. Can you please go do the same thing for the employees outside working too? I need to make absolutely sure that everybody is checked. Shadow is so helpful and not. I didn't even know he had an investigation mode. I'm gonna ask him about that. See what that actually does completely. Is it like a lie detector? Shadow nods with complete agreement. Yes, I can scan the employees outside this room in a similar manner. I promise that I am completely determined to make sure that I don't miss even a single employee's lies. I promise that I am very capable of thoroughly checking every employee in the entire studio. Thank you again, Shadow. While you do that, I will deal with these in my office. Shadow nods his robotic head and answers in a grateful and serious tone. Of course, I understand completely. I promise to be efficient and quick about it. I turn to the employees and say, so, well. You all were lying to me? Oh my gosh, dude, are you flipping kidding me? The employees who were involved in adding the evil mode to the system look extremely nervous and extremely guilty. Some of them look very ashamed and others look quite worried about the consequences. They all remain silent, simply standing there like statues, as if they expected to be fired at any moment. The room is completely silent. You know, as the complete owner of the studio, I am extremely disappointed. Period. Oh yeah, and don't forget about the fact that a lot of you act like the bosses of this place, even though I am the owner. What do you all have to say for yourselves? Ridiculous. They're all fired. That's it. I'm done. I'm fine. No employees. Frick them. The employees took a look around at each other for a moment before a single employee steps forward. I I am so sorry for lying to you about adding the evil mode system to Shadow's system. I'm so regretful for my actions. I apologize for my behavior. I just wish that he would get what he deserves for being so perfect. I realize now that I was jealous of Shadow. Look at it this way, guys. I gotta explain. I'll explain in the next video.